Just a brief introduction, peeps. We just decided to roll the camera because we were having a conversation, and we always say, but we always say that we wish we record this shit. So we're just going to see where this goes, and if we talk about something that's funny, or I don't know, but if something good, if something good comes of it,
Usually do.
Yeah, so without further ado, we're just going to continue this conversation before more gold slips through the recording nets.
Yeah, like loom shit.
So I was just talking about this thing called a loop-de-loom, and that's it, the loop-de-loom. So it's like a loom.
It's like a loom.
It's like a loom, and I saw it today, and it's like this thing on a thing. I'm probably gonna have to. I'm doing. Oh, wait, hang on, wait. There's hang on. There's shit you can do on here. I forgot. Hang on. We can do screen share. Hang on. How do you do? I don't know. You know what? In editing, I'm not going to bother fucking about with it now, but in editing, I'll put in what the loop-de-loom is. I'll try to find a picture.
I think that's a good idea, because really, the way you're describing it, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. I know what a loom looks like. The girls have a couple. Made a little bobble hat for me and a scarf and everything, but I can't imagine what you're describing.
Well, it
like attaches to other stuff.
Right, okay. So it's like this thing, and it's...
You are so not good with the craft words, are you?
No. So it's like this plastic thing, like a base.
Plastic thing.
Right?
Yes.
And it has like little peggy things sticking out. Where
I know,
loop the loom.
Wool.
Wool.
Word is wool.
Where you can like hook the... I'm looking at myself. You can hook the wool off. And then the basey thing where these little piggy things.
Oh, jeez, dude. Give up. Just give up.
No, I'm always there.
Okay, so it's got peggy things where you put the loomy things, and then you loop the loomy, and you loop the wool over, and it makes shit.
Yeah. And then it makes shit.
Oh, God.
But it's for kids, so it's super easy.
Not super easy to explain. I'll have to take a look. I quite like those sorts of things.
Yeah, but anyway, it looks really cool, and it's called a loop-de-loom, and I think you should check it out.
I will check it out. I will. Because I quite like the looms that the girls have got there.
Can I see? Show me. Or are you going to try and...
I have no idea where they've put them at the moment, and
okay.
That would require me to go into the pit, which is the bedroom, and possibly find stuff. Yeah, no, I think I'll just... Right. One of them is... it's the one that Robin made my little hat with. And I think something's on fire, dude.
No.
You thinking that hard, your brain has set on fire?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now.
I know what you're doing.
Anyway.
Yeah, one of them is a circle, and you can make hats and stuff. Robin made me a bobble hat, which I've still got because it's awesome. And the other one is just a really small, thin rectangle about this big that you can make scarves with. And it's basically just knitting on a loom. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw a knitting machine as well, like a kid's knitting machine.
Oh, Jesus Christ, knitting machines takes me back to my nan. She had a knitting machine. I was not allowed to touch it.
Why?
Because I break stuff.
Oh. Did you break it?
No, I wasn't allowed to touch it.
Oh.
She made me a jumper on it, though, so that was pretty cool. never really got on with knitting machines.
Weren't they supposed to make the job easier?
Yes, but I'm dense. As far as those sorts of things are concerned.
Like as dense as me trying to learn how to crochet.
Yes, just like that. Like, so you get explained, you read the instructions or somebody explains it to you and you're watching and you still don't get it.
And they're like, no, this way. And you're like, but
what? No.
And it doesn't.
Yeah, I noped out. Not as hard as you noped out with crochet, but I noped out.
Yeah, but you were like, what made it funnier? Because you were like, your mum's just not teaching you right.
She's just not teaching you properly. I'm sure if I gave it a go, you could learn.
You know how I mentioned that infinite fucking patience?
Yeah, you found a very, very, very quick shortcut to the end of my patience. Oh, jeez.
You know what? I've never actually attempted crocheting since.
I'm sorry if I put you off, but goddamn! Oh, God. I don't know, it just came easy to me, so I thought I'd be able to teach you. Damn, was I wrong?
Yeah, you were.
I really was. And now I'm just going to sit here and flaunt it in your face that I can still do it.
Oh, hang on. Oh, Glenn is messaging me.
Oh, hey, Glenn.
Guess who's coming to Grass Pop? Who is coming to Grass? That's a metal festival here, by the way.
A what festival?
Metal.
Oh, I thought you said nettle.
Metal.
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 No, I was trying to figure out why you'd have a nettle festival.
Because Belgians are sadistic.
Yeah, you like that stuff on your junk, do you?
I guess it's sort of like the Belgian equivalent of the, you know how the Scots wear kilts and no undies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's like...
Do you even know where you're going with this?
Yeah, because now I'm seeing like a random Belgian men in a field of nettles just touching their boots. It's a test of manhood. Belgians don't actually do that, by the way.
No, they don't. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I had a no-filter moment like that earlier on.
Yeah.
I was around my mum's. I managed to stop myself. But we were watching gymnastics on the telly. There's a world championship going on at the moment. And there was a guy doing the rings. Right, so he's spinning round and he's crunching himself up into a ball upside down. And my brain went, huh. He's got his head right near his crotch. And I very nearly, I blurted out, oh my God, he could. And then I stopped myself because I realized I was sat next to my mum and my stepdad. And it's, no, don't finish that sentence. Don't finish that sentence. He slowly give himself his own. Yeah. No filter moments are not fun sometimes.
Yeah, but sometimes they're fucking hilarious.
They are, depending on the company. But that's one of those things that you don't blurt out in front of your parents.
Unless you're you.
I stopped myself.
Oh, cool.
I stopped myself.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen often. But yeah. It's not nettles on the ball sack. That conversation took a very dark turn already.
Dude, yeah, that's what happens when the house is on fire, you know.
Oh, your house is on fire.
Oh, My house is on fire.
It's a specific part of it. Oh.
It's spontaneous because every so often it just, it dies down a little bit and then it comes back. So.
Oh dear. Ooh.
I'm just going to look over here, fuck off, fire. No, fuck you.
Bye-bye, fire. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
We'll probably be interrupted at some point soon because the girls will be coming back from trick-or-treating.
Ah, yeah, that's right. It's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Winning!
Oh my god. What the fuck is that?
Charlie Sheen.
For fuck's sake. I thought it was, but the nose looks really weird.
Yeah, that's because it kind of like fluffy bit so I can breathe. So it kind of looks like Jewish Charlie Sheen.
Jewish Charlie Sheen. Gotta love it.
I'm being anti-Semitic or anything.
No, of course not.
No. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween! I'm the meter fairy.
Yeah, the Vita Fairy.
Yeah, it took me fucking ages to find this crown.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had to go and hunt the girls' room. We have a wonder, we have wings, and we have a crown. Hey, Charlie.
Hey,
What's up, man?
just winning.
Right, I'm trying to hide product placement here. Sorry.
Yeah, although we've mentioned like various different products, but I'm just going to hasten to add right now. This is annoying. I'm just going to hasten. I'm just going to hasten to add right now that we are in no way affiliated with any products that may be mentioned or
shown because
Shown.
I just did this.
Yeah.
You don't know what this is?
Canada Dry. 7-Up.
7-Up.
Yeah.
What Canada Dry?
You're welcome, 7-Up and Canada.
I just said fuck Canada Dry. I don't think they're welcome.
Yeah, but we still mentioned it, so
That's true.
Bad publicity is some publicity. So some people
Yeah.
might watch this video and go, hey, what's Canada Dry? It's ginger beer?
Mm-hmm. I just know it's
I think it's ginger beer. or
nice.
something.
I don't know what it is, but it's
I don't
nice.
fucking know. I Canada Dry. It's a
Pardon me.
drink.
It's a drink of some description.
I think it's ginger beer.
We have product placement here too. I'm wearing my own stock.
Yeah. Go to House of Nika and buy her shit.
Actually, it's not open at the moment. I'm taking a small leave at the moment for my brain.
Yeah.
My brain is saying I can't function right now, so the shop is on hold.
Oh shit. No.
Yeah, it's been one of them years, but what can you do?
Oh, that brings us full circle to fucking life.
Life,
Fucking life.
the universe, and everything. And the answer is not 42.
42 fucking mushrooms, that's what it is. Of the magic variety.
Yep. Oh dear.
42
That
bags of mushrooms. There we go. Let's up the ante a little bit. 42 bags of fucking mushrooms.
Not that we're saying do that, or that we have.
No, I'm just going to say right now, what we say in this video is just us chatting shit.
Yes. Because
So,
we find it funny.
yeah, and God knows why you're fucking watching this.
I don't know. This is just us having a random conversation, like we always intended to do at some point, but never got round to. We usually just talk about serious stuff with a few giggles in between.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think there is kind of a point to this video because, as we were saying before, because some shit went down with a close friend about this, and it just got us reminiscing and thinking about just how insane life has been over the last few years.
Oh God, yeah. That has been very insane. And I can't even think of one year in the entirety of my life that has been insanity free.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
34 years of this shit.
And you've driven us to our vices, goddammit, universe, and the universe is like, fuck you, you don't matter.
Fuck you!
What you gonna do?
You're gonna nuke me.
Well, you can't nuke me, so fuck you. That's why. And that's the meaning of life. That's it, that's the meaning of life, dude. Fuck you, that's why.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, that's
That is it. That is exactly how it seems to be. It's like, why, God, why? Because fuck you. I say God, it could be universe, it could be anything, whatever you're affiliating yourself with. Why? Why? Because fuck you.
That's
Hey,
why. That's why.
do you remember all those years ago we were talking about the random crate flinger?
Yeah. Okay, give a background on the back. Oh, fuck it. Give a background on the random crate flinger.
The random crate flinger. I think this was going back to when we were like 18 and 19. And we were just sat chilling one day, just talking. And I think we were all going through some really, really deep, heavy shit as per fucking usual. And we're sat there and we're like, geez, why? Why does this keep happening? Why? And then suddenly it came to us. And it's a man with a crate full of shit.
Well, I wouldn't say it was a man. Okay, I wouldn't say it was a man. I would say it was some sort of
entity.
Yeah.
An entity with a crate full of shit. And he's called the random crate flinger.
Right, you know these punk kids that kind of like chuck shit off of a bridge as you're driving? Like, this is what this kind of asshole
Or light
is.
it on fire on your doorstep.
Yeah. Like, this is the kind of asshole this crate flinger is, okay?
Yeah. He just sort of pops up in a puff of smoke, throws this crate of shit at you,
like
and disappears.
It's like, fuck you!
And that is the random crate flinger.
Yeah.
And he chucks shit at you. And not just a little bit, it's crates and crates full of it.
And sometimes in between the crates, he has these little cans, right? The tin cans, like baked bean cans. And he fucking throws baked beans and shit at you.
I'm not in.
Yes, you are.
I'm not in. It's trick or treaters. I'm so not in.
You go to the door and go, trick mother bitches! Go on, I dare you.
I'm not that mean.
Go on, trick mother bitches! Go on, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it,
Children. It's children.
do it.
No, I'm not doing that. It's children. I'm not going to go and do that.
Do it.
Dude.
Do it, do it, do it.
I'm not doing it. I'm just going to pretend I'm in. I don't have any candy. I'm sorry.
If I had the candy, I would be eating.
Although,
dude, open the door, she's start eating the candy. Treats for me.
you realise I am trying to tone you down here. You're not making it easy. Jeez, dude, jeez. You're talking about being mean to kids here. What kind of person are you?
Kid that lost her fucking baby.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Not much I can say to that. You are allowed. You are allowed.
Here's another thing, you know. I'm laughing about it because I'm done crying about it.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's like the N word. It's like the N word, right? Because right, if you're a person of a certain ethnicity and skin color, you can say my N word, and it'll be cool. But if you're like not of that skin color,
it's not cool.
It's not cool. It's not
You're not
called
allowed to say it unless you were given special dispensation to say the word.
Like the N pass. It's like a driver's license.
Yes.
It's like, right.
Dude, I have earned my N pass, and yet I still can't use it.
Well, show it. Screenshot or it never happened.
How am I supposed to screenshot that?
I don't know.
This is Kez and his family basically trying to get me to say the N word, and all I could go was no. No. No.
I dare not say
So anyway,
it because, you know, if I say it, then someone's
don't say it.
Get all pissed
Don't
off.
say it.
They're going to get, oh, that's racist. I'm going to be like, oh, I know. It's like...
Yeah, but it's all right because we can get Kez up to go. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. He's our token friend, so it's cool.
Our token friend.
Yeah,
You're talking about the guy I dated.
Yeah, token.
You know he's going to laugh at this.
Yeah. I was tempted to say it now, but like I said, I don't want to piss anyone off.
Point being.
I just did. Sorry.
Point being is you're allowed to say that you have a dead baby.
Yeah.
It's like that.
It's like that. It's exactly
It's like that.
I'm allowed to
I'm allowed to be bitter. I'm allowed.
And I'm allowed to laugh at it because it's my fucking process.
It's all the stages of grief.
Yes.
We have covered this.
Yeah. And right now I'm doing exactly what you shouldn't be doing.
Which is?
Bad things.
Who says
like this?
Who says that that's, you know, you shouldn't be doing that?
Oh, they're like,
you know,
oh, you shouldn't smoke because cigarettes are bad. Like,
cigarettes are bad, okay?
So Lucy, baby, what's your point?
You can't drink alcohol? Why not? Because it's bad.
Oh, thanks for the information. I'm so thankful you're concerned for my health. Right now?
It's my body, I'll do what I want to it.
It's my body and I'll do what I want to.
Yeah.
Sorry for the ear bleeding singing now. I can't sing for shit. There you go.
But yeah.
7 Up.
I had takeaway Sosumi.
You know what? I had something worse. I went and bought a pre-made thingy. Meal from the supermarket. And
yes, and how was it?
Passable.
Passable. They usually are.
Yeah, it's like it's not good, but it's not bad
It's not bad.
I've had worse. So it's like, yeah, okay, I can eat it. It's not gross. So yeah.
Seeing as you're smoking, I'm going to go to the door and have one myself. Cause
yeah, I'm gonna pause it then because. Oh no! Wait, you can bring your phone with. Yeah, that's right.
I can bring my phone with.
That's why I'm sat here with this because I have a laptop. Because for some reason, not some reason, probably because it's like very memory intensive. You can't record on your phone, so that's also why her screen is smaller. By the way, it's not being a twat about it or anything. So. Not that anyone has watched to this point. I'll be intrigued if anyone does.
No, yeah, we're just, don't expect anybody to carry on with us at the moment.
No.
We're just doing this for us at the moment. Yeah, this is my flat. It's nice. And now you're going to go a little bit wonky when I prop you up.
Hi.
Like this. I've just realised, though, I'm going to the door and there are trick-or-treaters out and I'm dressed like a fucking fairy. So they are going to naturally assume I have sweets.
Tell them no.
No
es
sweets
bueno. No es bueno.
I'm poor.
I had sweets,
I am
but I ate them.
I actually did.
Yeah. Well, now we're recording again because apparently you can't hear me munching these chips, so.
Yeah, not too much. You're all right.
Mm.
It's all good.
Yeah. They're good chips.
Yeah. Chips.
Oh.
Seriously? Chips. Damn, dude.
What?
You have converted.
Shut up.
You are no longer English. We
Shut
shun
up.
you. We shun you.
Shut up.
Shun. Shun.
Fine, but I'll be over here shunned with the fucking Doritos.
Fine. I don't give a shit. I want you goddamn Doritos anyway.
Yeah, but that's
Screw
the
you.
thing. Over here, they call crisps chips, and they call chips fries or Fritos.
Yeah, that's the same as American.
Mm.
I think we're the only ones that don't call it that.
Mm.
Because I think the Australians call it that too.
Do they? Chips or crisps?
Chips.
So we're the only ones that say crisps.
You can't say we anymore. You are not an English person anymore. You are shunned. You have been shunned. You made a mistake.
This says otherwise, bitch. No, hang on. I can't see that shit. Hang on.
You're actually going to
Say my name, bitch. Say my name. It says otherwise. And no, I'm not actually going to show my picture.
I was going to say.
I'm not that.
That's not a good idea. I don't know. You might be. Don't be that dumb, dude. Don't be that dumb.
I'm not being that dumb.
Yeah, till you get... Actually, that's the point. When eventually you get Belgian citizenship, are you allowed a Belgian passport then?
Yeah.
So you won't have that then anymore.
I'll have dual nationality.
Cool. Cool.
So,
Pretty fun.
yeah. So at the moment, I got something called an EID card.
Mm-hmm.
And that lets me travel throughout the open borders of Europe. But it's still a good idea to have your passport. Because it's not my passport, it's just an ID card.
Fucking Brexit.
Yeah.
No
I'm
more
against
open
Brexit,
borders.
by the way, so is she, so fucking Brexit. Gonna make shit a whole lot more complicated.
Yeah.
Although I'm intrigued to see whether or not it'll work, because if it works, you know, that's gonna be changing, yeah, that's gonna send some ripples, I think.
How is it going to work? I mean, we're going to need visas to go certain places. And
Well, it depends what kind
no
of...
longer open borders.
I guess it depends what kind of deal is
Yeah,
coming.
well, they're taking a sweet time about it.
Well, yeah, because they've I think it's not gonna be done until 2021 now or something like that.
Meanwhile, we're in limbo.
Pretty much, so they're just kicking the can down the road at this point. So it'll be intriguing to see if something has come up with, and you know, because you never know, they might be able to actually think of something that might work, but what that might be, I have no fucking idea.
No, I don't think they do either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was a good decision. Well done, Brendan. And don't anybody comment on the whole Brexit stuff. I don't really give a shit.
No, we don't really give a shit either. All I know is my opinion is I thought it was a dumb idea.
That was a dumb idea. But yeah, never mind. Whatever.
And if you did vote, you vote based it on lies. So where's your NHS money now, bitches?
Where's Cameron now? He did a run out.
Yeah,
I'm not going to leave after the vote. I'm not going to resign after the vote. What did he do? Freaking resign.
And now what? And now what? You got fucking Theresa May. Congratulations. Hope you're happy.
But we don't really do politics.
No. We don't claim to know fuck all about this. This is just our opinion. So if you're gonna like comment and shit, watch us give no fucks. So,
Yeah.
basically.
No fucks will be given.
Well, I mean, we're sat here fucking smoking, and we never smoke, crocheting, eating chips and dip, swearing and talking about shit, because we know damn well no one's gonna fucking watch.
Yeah, we're just rambling right now, you know.
This is our talk therapy. This is what we do when we're processing shit. So this is like behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, it is, because if we've got stuff to talk about, you know, you want to call? Yeah, I need to call. All right. Hunt the headphones, call up. What the fuck happened? All right, this is how it went down.
And that's
and
what
we
we
talk about
started,
it,
by the way.
we rant about it, we just joke about it, we laugh about it, we get angry about it, and then we just go, fuck it. Better? Yeah, I'm all right.
And then we smoke cigarettes. Because that's bad.
Okay.
If you do it, fine. Whatever, that's your choice. Same choice I made, same choice you made. But if you're like...
Stupid choice, but you know.
Stupid choice, nonetheless, but fuck it. What are you gonna do?
Tried quitting several times. I do not have the willpower. Because why? Crap keeps happening.
Oh, I was actually doing really well. And guess what? Fucking baby died. That'll set you back.
Yeah, I'll fucking do it, dude. That'll do it. I'm like, fuck this shit. Give me a fucking cigarette.
Yep.
I can't remember what it was. I mean, I quit for like 3 months. It was just vaping and everything. And then some shit happened and it was like, give me a fucking fag. Give me a fucking fag.
I mean, when you think about it, it's actually a really dumb thing to do because you don't feel good after either. And you always feel a little bit shittier, but for some reason, right, it calms us the fuck down.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I don't either, because nicotine isn't a calming thing. It's not. It doesn't actually. There's no evidence to say that nicotine or whatever else is in there calms you down. It doesn't. But I think it's just the act of the little habit, you know, because we'll go Freudian. Oral fixation. You've got to do something with your mouth. Yeah, it's like stress eating. You stress smoke.
Like now.
Yeah, it's a comfort. It's a crutch. We know this. We know it's bad for us. You know.
Like this is also bad for you. Don't fucking eat
Bad.
Bad.
There's the one thing I keep telling the girls though is, you know, and even my mum, who when I was saying please don't smoke, mum, that sort of thing, she was just like, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, you know, that sort of thing. And these days, when we're talking to the girls about it, it's a case of really don't do it. And we sit there smoking and we're like, don't.
You know damn well they are.
Well, they might try it. They might try it, but I sort of, you know, at the same time where I'm going, I'm smoking and everything, I'm like, this is not really what I want to be doing. I don't, you know, it's just a stupid thing that I did and got hooked, and now it's one of those things that I just don't have the willpower to give up, you know. And I wish to dear God I didn't have this habit, and I wish I was stronger and able to give it up. But when I don't smoke, I am ratty as fuck, you know. And then when crap happens and I'm not smoking, it's you know.
Well, when I quit last time, I found the Nicorette gums actually really helped me.
Yeah, see, I'm not a gum chewer. I really
Neither am I. Neither am I, but it helped. But maybe the patches then. That would take away the rattiness at least. Because the
patch on my arm already, but that's morphine.
Well, then I would just try the gum. I don't like
patch collection. Get a patch collection. It's all good.
Just stick it on your ass. It'll be fine.
It's a repository of a patch.
I said on your ass, not up your ass.
No, but my brain went further.
Yeah, that's because you're a dirty whore.
Shut the fuck up.
Yay!
You can't prove nothing. You can't prove nothing.
My man ain't your daddy's bitch.
It's still going to be something I laugh about till the day I die. That and bumming T-Mobile. One day we'll tell you the stories.
Why didn't you tell it now? Because we're just talking about shit anyway.
I could probably explain the I'm bumming T-Mobile, but I don't think I could explain my man ain't your daddy's bitch.
My man
ain't your daddy's bitch.
I'm gonna stop eating these now because it's probably getting annoying here in the front. So.
Honestly, I can't hear it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Anyway.
But put them away anyway.
I'm gonna put them away anyway. Don't talk with your mouth full.
Yeah, dude, you're being so rude right now.
Yeah. Oh. No fucks!
I think that's the motto of today, is no fucks.
Yeah.
Right, go on, explain my man ain't your daddy's bitch.
Alright. So, I think we were at like your old house. Not at Matt's. So we were at a house.
We were walking back from Sainsbury's because that's where I was working. We were walking home because we set it outside and I dropped to the pavement.
Okay. So we were walking home from Sainsbury's. We'll go with that version. Either way, we were fucking together. So we were walking home from Sainsbury's to her place. And there was like this back and forth.
As you do.
Cussing each other out, as you do.
Were we not sort of talking about, or at least emulating some of the chat shows like Jeremy Kyle?
I can't remember.
Jerry Springer and stuff like that.
Maybe it could be. So anyway, there's a back and forth. We're taking the piss out of like Jeremy Kyle and Jerry Springer. And the types of white trash that's on there and the shit they say. And I can't remember how we got to this point, but Alika had said something, and I had said, "My man ain't your daddy's bitch." Oh, like, hang on, wait a minute.
She stopped. She stopped and went, wait. And at this point, I have dropped to the floor, wetting myself laughing. Because it wasn't exactly what you said. It was just the pause afterwards and went, wait.
That's not right.
That's not what I meant to say.
But it came out so fluently, so I just...
Oh, man, ain't your daddy's bitch. And what was it you had actually meant to say?
My man ain't your baby's daddy bitch. Admittedly, that's a lot harder to say.
Yeah. My man ain't your daddy's bitch.
My man ain't your daddy's bitch. So, you remember that time when we were like having our deep and meaningful conversations?
Which one?
I don't know, but just when we had the deep and meaningful conversations, and then we decided to like just fuck with each other and start saying random shit in between. You know, like you would be saying something, and then I would say something like, "Yeah," and then a squirrel screwed an acorn or something like that, and then and then just casually continue what I was saying, and you'd be left there like pondering, "Did I just hear that?" You know?
Did I hear that? was that right?
But yeah, the point being is, to this day, I still giggle about that squirrel screwed an acorn.
Oh, dude, we have had some very, very funny conversations over the years.
Oh, the Zephyr song, dude. The midget playing the xylophone and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, trigger warning. We're going to use the most unpolitically correct terminology randomly. So if you're triggered, no fucks given. Moving on.
I didn't know the politically correct term, and at that particular point, I was 19 years old and pretty
Vertically challenged?
Vertically challenged, maybe. But then I'm vertically challenged.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, like, vertically challenged like a midget.
And she says it again. Okay, so picture the scene. We're at my place again.
A lot of things happened at her place.
They really did. They really did. We're at my place again, and we're sitting in my two really shitty armchairs that broke. Do you remember them? They swung. They were the worst 80s bloody armchairs, and they sort of swiveled. Rocks on the damn things. They weren't even mine. They came with the house.
They were shit.
But we were listening to By the Way by
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
By Red Hot Chili Peppers, and the Zephyr song came on, and we are just really just kind of relaxed and listening to this album, and my brain drifted off, and I'm getting lost in the song, and randomly I said, I can see a midget flying through the air playing the xylophone.
She had a little bit to drink at this point.
I'd had a little bit to drink, and my brain does funny things. I was actually seeing this. It wasn't exactly a hallucination. It's more of a daydream. It happens. It happens.
You saw
it wasn't stuff. I saw stuff. You weren't there, man. You weren't there.
If you're not in my head, you can't
you
comment.
Don't know. You don't know.
I've seen some stuff and things, and I wouldn't recommend it.
I have seen some stuff. But what I was trying to convey in my not so eloquent terms was that it was like a visual representation of how chill the music was. That's what I was trying to get across, but what I actually said was fact.
Yeah.
That's not quite as bad as the Kill Bill.
Dude, what the fuck is up with that Sabrina remake?
You're actually watching it now.
Yeah,
you're actually watching it.
I've watched the first 2 episodes. The fuck is up with that shit?
I've actually finished it. I have finished it. It's so not like our
Sabrina the Teenage
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all. It's so dark. It is so dark.
Yeah. Zelda goes up and claps Zelda like a fucking baby seal. I'm like, whoa, bitch! Whoa!
What the fuck is wrong with you?
The fuck, you!
It gets worse.
I literally went. This was my legit reaction. It was like, whoa!
Woo!
I literally whoa-duded. I whoa-duded, dude.
It gets worse. It gets worse. Or you know, it's actually kind of good. But you know, there were bits where I was sat there going, "This is really, really not like I thought it was gonna be."
No.
I mean, because we grew up on Sabrina the Teenage Witch with Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah.
Is that her name? Right?
Yeah.
And it was funny, it was and sarcastic, and you know,
yeah,
it was Nickelodeon. It was a teenage thing, you know.
Yeah.
It was funny, but this, yeah. This is some fucked up shit. Not as fucked up as Black Mirror.
Have you watched any more of that?
I watched it all, apart from the one that you said not to.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I watched it all.
And?
What the fuck is wrong with humanity? That is... I mean, after the first 2 episodes, that broke me. All right, I wasn't in a very good place, and, you know, I needed to go and get my anti-anxiety stuff and get myself on those. But I was watching that, and I just went, there is no saving humanity. We are fucking stupid.
Yeah, but that's the
I know, that was the point. That was the point.
How meta was Black Museum, the last episode? How meta was that? So, Black Mirror.
Oh, God. Honestly, I lost my shit with that. And then obviously I went on to, I went and got my anti-anxiety stuff finally. So I left it a couple of days, started watching it again. I thought, yeah, all right, I'm in a better place now. And I managed to get through them. They were intriguing and there was a lot of, what the fuck? But yeah, it was all right. It was all right. But yeah, what the fuck
is wrong with humanity?
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with humanity?
Well, see, that's why I like the show so much, because it really makes you take a good hard look at how we are with each other as a species, you know?
You know how long it took me, you know, because you've given me that advice of don't trust the protagonist. You know how many episodes it actually took me to get that into my head?
How many?
About 5. 5.
You just can't help it because it's...
And even then I still got suckered in a couple of times. Like, jeez.
Yeah.
What's wrong with people?
Yeah. What is wrong with people?
What is wrong with people? I've been asking that question a lot recently. What is wrong with people?
You and me both. I mean, like I said, it's just absolutely astonishing how appalling we can really treat each other. You know, I mean, it's bad enough when someone you know kind of be's a dick. But yeah, be's a dick.
That's some good English right there, man.
I couldn't remember. Anyway, you know what I mean, be's a dick.
I know what you mean. Be's a dick.
Yeah. And, you know, it hurts you on a whole different level, but then you just have these random rude assholes that you encounter, and it's like, what the hell happened to make you this way?
Yeah. What is your damage? What is your damage? Honestly, I did actually have a moment like that with that knobhead who scratched my car. You know, that bloody delivery driver. Oh, God. What a twat. What a fucking twat. Do you know that? We've talked about narcissists and stuff like that. And there's this little checklist of the things that they do. You know, you can tick it off.
Yeah. You seem to be doing that a lot lately, and it's actually
oh, jeez.
I don't know if it's like hypervigilance because of the bombardment of realizations and the headbutt that comes with it, but holy crap, when you notice it, your eyes seem to be blown wide open.
To be honest with you, this guy, you know, he'd hit my car. He was trying to reverse out, but there was another car on the side and he just couldn't get past it. So I was planning on going out and moving my car anyway, but he didn't give me the chance to do so because it was a big box lorry, right? Big box sort of van type thing. So, you know, I noticed he was trying to get past, so I ran out to sit in the car and everything. But I reversed a little bit and I was trying to think, well, do I go up on the grass or keep reversing back or anything? But I didn't have enough time because he just came past me anyway. And that's when my neighbour came over and went, he hit your car. And I went, what? So I got out and had a look, and there's scratches along the side, and my wing mirror's in, and there's scratches over my wing mirror. And this guy is just reversing back and about to drive off. So I'm looking, and I just looked down and I looked at him and I just went,
the fuck?
So he gets out. He's like, you're a fucking idiot for fucking boxing me in and doing the head bobbing thing and getting all square up and everything. And I know. And it's like,
why?
What? That escalated quickly. All I did was, you know. Now, this is a person representing a company. You know, they have a reputation to uphold. And he's just called me a fucking idiot in front of myself, my witness, my other neighbour, and 5 children, ranging from the ages of 4 to 12. Right? And he's there giving it all, getting all shitty and head bob and shit, look like a fucking pigeon. I was like, you know, you saw where you know, when I pulled up, because it's a very narrow road outside, there was a car parked right against the curb on the grass, so he wouldn't have been able to get past. But all the cars, everybody seemed to be home at that point. There was nowhere else I could park. Now, I can't really get my car up on that grass. It's only a fucking roller skate, you know? And I actually had to the other day, and when I came down, I hit the curb. The bottom of the car hit the curb. So I can't go up on that grass, right? Otherwise, I'm going to break my car. Because the curbs out there and the grass and everything is so fucking damaged. It's not worth me doing it, right? But he saw me go into my flat. The guy did not attempt to ask me to move my car. When I noticed he was trying to get out, I instantly went out to move. Did he give me enough time to move? No, he did not. And then he starts calling me an effing idiot. I shouldn't have boxed him in. I'm like, well, where else was I supposed to park? But you could have said, could you please move your car so that I can get out? All we had to do. But no. Anyway, so he's like, well, I didn't hit your car. I didn't hit your car. And that's when my neighbour turned around and said, I've just seen you do it. I have stood here and watched you do it. I said, there's marks here. And he went, well, there's no black marks on there because my car's black. And I went, black mark there, black mark there, black mark there. You can't prove anything. You can't prove anything. It's your word and your word against mine. Who are they going to believe? Still doing the head bobby stuff. And I looked at him and I'm doing this little checklist, that little checklist of narcissistic stuff in my head. And I've gone bing, 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 bing. And I stood there after he's saying, you know, who are they going to believe? I looked at him and I went, you're just a knob. You're just a knob. Rah, rah, rah. You're just a knob. And walked off. It was just, it was one of those,
to be honest.
It was just one of those realizations that I was dealing with an actual wanker.
Wow, that's a rare occurrence. Yeah,
an actual wanker. Yeah, it was sort of the disbelief. Like, really, people like this? You couldn't have just come out and been, you know, okay. All he had to do was go, I'm sorry, my bad, here's my name, here's my insurance details, this is a company I work for. Actually, I asked him his name and various things, and he went, no, I'm not telling you, work it out for yourself. So we did. But yeah, after calling the company and letting them know that their driver had been like that, and them assuring me that they would say that they were liable, this, that, and the other, and my insurance would go through. I get a letter, and basically they're wriggling out of it. And this is after them giving my insurance company all of the wrong details.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a complete farce, but it was one of those. Do you know what? Sometimes I really, really don't like the human race.
No. I mean,
just one of those little annoyances, but still. I mean, it could have been worse. They could have actually really damaged the car. It was just scratches, but it was the principle of the matter.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you saying you were actually prepared to let it go.
I was. It's so long, he'd said, if he'd just said sorry, I probably wouldn't have called up the company and whatnot, but I would have just done it myself. But it was the fact that he was so abusive right from the word go, and it was like, was there any need to be like that? No.
Yeah, but the thing is, and I'm actually going to say this as well, that was you putting up a boundary and trying to maintain the boundary, even though this was a complete stranger. But it's shit like this that can really knock your confidence and be like, well, what's the point? Because when you call wrong is wrong or whatever, and this shit happens. This shit right here happens. Right? Not only are they rude or unapologetic, but you're out of pocket, your car is damaged, and you're insult to injury. Or because the guy is like, what? I don't remember anything like this happening. And it's like...
Yeah. You ass. I have actually encountered a wanker.
And the thing is, it happens so much, whether it's like random bullshit encounters like this, that just really, why?
The problem with encounters like that is it instantly triggers me. It instantly puts me right back into a vulnerable place.
And I'm trying to sort of fight that and go, no, I'm going to stand my ground here. And I'm trying to remain diplomatic. And the guy is getting more and more abusive. And it's, and you can, it's just one of those in your head, even in that voice in your head is going, but what? You know? And yeah, the voice in your head is lost for words as well. And as I said, it was just that disbelief. And all I could say was, you're just a knob. I mean, it was clearly obvious, but it was just, yeah.
I think I would have called him something a bit stronger, but yeah.
Well, that's all I could think of at the time.
That's the thing. It's one of those situations where you're completely and utterly dumbfounded by the level of douchery this guy is.
I do actually, you know, I have seen douchebaggery and then been on the receiving end of douchebaggery quite a lot. But, you know, usually I just keep my head down and just get out of there as soon as possible. But there are times when you have to deal with it, and I never really know how to deal with that. Because my instant reaction is freeze, don't fight, you know, walk away, you know, get out of there. I can't deal with confrontation. Yeah, I go straight into fight or flight mode, and it's usually not fight. It's just run away type thing. And
avoid and take the path of least resistance kind of thing.
There's you know, there's been incidents in the past where I've had to deal with aggression, and when I get angry, I cry. And people seem to think that I'm crying because I'm frightened of them.
Or weak of
some
sort.
Or weak, you know. And there was this one particular incident where, obviously not going to name any names, but I got struck around the face in a pub by somebody I trusted. It was a man. Yeah, okay. And my instant reaction was shock. But that's not what did it. That's not what did it. Because I was about to turn around and go, all right, fair enough. I can see how, because we've been play fighting, you know, just and I know that I triggered something in him. So I was about to say, fair enough, right? I can see that I've triggered you somehow. However, you know that slapping me round the face is a trigger for me. So there are other ways to get me to stop rather than triggering me. But before I could say any of this, I have this guy pointing in my face going, don't ever do that again, talking to me like I'm a fucking child. And at that point, I burst into tears. At this point, I've sort of, my eyes are leaking and I'm crying and I'm shaking and I've had to leave. But it was, I heard people go, oh, no, not aw. What I did was go into the toilet and kick the shit out of the toilet door instead of his head. You know, that anger in me, that crying is not me being afraid of that person. It's me being afraid of myself because I am angry and I want to fucking hurt you.
And boy, I'm just going to say, if that insidious little prick ever stumbles across these videos, which wouldn't surprise me, and he ever does watch it, by the way, you're not a very good opponent. You're predictable as fuck, and I hate you. You suck.
I hate you.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm just being raw right now.
I hate you. Oh, jeez. You've got to watch that back. It's just the way you said it.
Okay.
I get your meaning though.
Prick.
Yeah, those.
And you know what? You know what else? You know what else? You know what else? Yeah. You know what we call you behind your back? We call you fucking Rickhead. That's what we call you. Fucking Rickhead. You became your own euphemism. You are that fucking laughable. Dickhead!
Dickhead!
Dickhead! You ain't shit, mate. You ain't shit. Wow. Anyway,
yeah.
you're lucky I've never met you. Anyway, that's the last thing. Anyway, you were saying.
I actually can't remember. Something about fight or flight and anger and stuff like that. Yeah, those anger, you know.
Because you wanted to kick the shit out of him because you were kicking the shit out of the door. And
Yeah. I kicked the door and went, "You fucking cunt," that sort of thing. Calmed myself down and then went back out, that sort of thing, you know. But that was just an example of those sorts of situations that I've been in. And this other guy sort of puts me back in that place, you know, and it was different this time. And yeah, I was getting sort of like, I don't really understand what's going on, but I was getting angry. But I wasn't sort of crying or anything. There was stunned sort of like, what the fuck is going on here? But yeah, and then the disbelief is just like, okay, I can see what you are, and I can see what you're doing. You are just a knob. And there was something different this time.
Yeah, he was like one of those lesser types that just blows up in your face and hopes that all the huffing and puffing scares you off, kind of thing.
Oh, and haven't I had to deal with those ones? But yeah, you know, having encountered and been in relationships with those sorts, yeah, they used to intimidate me, but now it's like,
yeah, but it also goes back to like the shit we went through, like with that certain member of my family that also does that as well. And when you start looking back on that bullshit, yeah, I know, right? Eat a dick and fuck a cactus too. Anyway.
Yes.
The point being is you see a pattern in this behavior and you see that underneath it all, it is just a pathetic little child throwing a fucking tantrum. And the only thing that makes it intimidating is the size of the child, the physical size.
Yeah.
And then when you look at it like that, it really stops being intimidating.
Well, because have you ever noticed that these people don't tend to, I mean, I suppose they do get bullshit around people that are bigger than them, but they don't do it as much.
Yeah, I think it's kind of pick your fights kind of thing. Pick your battles.
Because these sorts of people, from my experience, have only seemed to have targeted. Now, I can only speak for the men that are like this. They only seem to target who they seem as weaker, which is either men that are smaller than them, either height-wise or build-wise, and they don't view as a threat. They couldn't, you know, this person couldn't possibly kick the shit out of me. Although, you know, sometimes that backfires, and this particular slender person's a fucking black belt. Ha ha. But it's either that or women.
Yeah, the weaker target.
The weaker target, because they know that they can intimidate these people. And it depends on the personality of the person they're picking on. Because obviously I have been targeted a fair bit by these sorts of people, because if you shout at me, generally speaking, I instantly go, you know, and I'm not going to fight back. I'll either just sort of put my head down and try and get out. I'm not gonna get into a fist fight. I'm not gonna shout back. I'm just gonna try and get away.
See, now it's interesting you say that, because I noticed something with me as well. And before, I kind of put my head down when I was in a situation like that and would just try and say / do whatever they wanted, just to make the situation go away. I would try and make the situation come to a stop as swiftly and peacefully as possible. But over the years, I found that's kind of changed a little bit. And I noticed a very recent shift. And it kind of happened recently with the blow up with what's his name, you know, Matey Boy, the recent thing. So I'm not going to mention names, but the chauvinistic one that doesn't fit with women.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I get it now. Yeah.
But when I was hearing him rip into my husband with his judgments, like romantic life and how he is, and really inappropriate line crossing shit.
Yeah.
As angry as I was, and there was one major thing holding me back, and that was the fact that his daughter was there, and I didn't want to do that while she was there because she's only 7, 8, something like that. So you don't want to have an
No, you don't want to get into a slanging match with somebody.
No, especially in that situation. So I find myself like just biting my tongue and trying to be firm, but not so confrontational.
Mm-hmm. More diplomatic.
Yeah, and just kind of swallowing it and waiting for my cue to, oh, look at the time, I've got to go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And try to leave as normal as possible, because I find that I need to go away and process things. And after I came away, the initial feeling was like, wow, did he really just say all that? You know, and I was a little bit bewildered, and the more you think about it, the more you're like, wow, that's not right, that's not right, that's not right, and then you get angry. And the more you start thinking and analysing it, so yeah, and I found it took me a total of, I think, he called the following day, and I told him that I wasn't happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that I would like to talk, because really not impressed, kind of thing. And the following week we couldn't, because the daughter was there, so again, not appropriate time, so we had to wait. And then the following week I was like super busy, had to work a little bit extra and was running about a lot, and things weren't going well with my husband's health, so I was also a little bit stretched and stressed with that as well. And I was still trying to find time to go and have this talk, and I was like, well, one thing, he wasn't prepared to come here, you know, financial and petrol reasons, apparently. Yeah. So I had to go to him, and I was like, well, I've barely got any time here. Why am I trying to chase this? And I think when the third week rolled around, I was like, you know what, why am I wasting energy on this? Why? You know, and I had like 3 weeks to think it over, and the conclusion, after cycling through the anger and the hurt and the various other emotions, I was like, you know what, in the grand scale of things, if you can't meet me halfway, I can't be bothered with this. Mm-hmm. I just can't be bothered with this. So I sent him a text message saying, you know what, my energy is better spent elsewhere. I can't deal with this. You know, and he was like, oh, well, goodbye, I guess. You know, I was like, you know what?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Fine.
That's not what you were saying.
Yeah. But it was like,
just, they said, look, I'm tired, mate. Don't have the energy for this, you know?
Yeah.
You weren't saying goodbye, it was just this particular
I can't deal with this.
Right now. I can't deal with it, you know? If that's the way you think, then fair enough, but...
Yeah, and, you know, I was like, oh, you know what? And after going through all those emotions, I thought, is considering the time period and stuff, with it being the anniversary of Kaylee and everything else happening with my husband and everything else happening with my family, I'm like...
that dumbfounded moment, like, just like, really? Okay.
Just...
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, with everything else that you're dealing with, that is just a little...
fuck it. You know, I'm not happy, and I'm not going to wear myself out having this draining conversation.
Trying to change somebody's mind about stuff when actually it's got nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
And trying to justify yourself when you have no need to. And also the trying to, the comments, the rather chauvinistic comments, if that's how that person is, that's how that person is. Nothing you can say or do will change it. So,
No, what else?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm just done with it.
I know. I had something. I was actually talking to my mum about this the other day. You know, I sort of said to a certain member of my family that I'm done. And it came about because of me learning to drive and getting a car, and 2 members of my family having that massive. And the text messages that got sent to my mum and the phone calls to my mum, but not to me. And there's one member of my family sending a text message to my mum, jumping on the bandwagon, basically having a go at her for her not telling this person that I had passed my test and got a car.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm like, well, hang on, it's not her news to share, it's mine. You know, but they were quite vicious, and she ignored it. And then about 12 hours later, I get the same sort of text message, at which point I just went, all right, let's deal with this, shall we? So I write her a message back. Whoops. I write this person. Ah, well, I didn't say who it was. I write this person a message back and say, look, I do not appreciate this, right? You're having a go at mum when actually this has got nothing to do with her. You know, all right, she didn't tell you that I passed my test and got a car, but neither did I. But the first person you choose to have a go at and be shitty towards and send shitty text messages to is her. When actually, when actually I didn't tell you. And do you want to know why I didn't tell you? Because it's none of your fucking business. Why the fuck should I tell you anything about my life? When actually, all this time, I have actually needed you. I have needed you, and where the fuck were you? Where were you?
Nowhere to be fucking seen.
Nowhere to be seen. So do you know what? If you're going to be like that, fuck off.
And when you get there,
fuck off again.
Keep going, man.
This was the gist of the message. I was rather eloquent. It was quite a long sort of what the fuck is wrong with you message.
Yeah.
And I just went, you know what, you haven't been there for me. So why the hell should I tell you anything about my life? Yeah. Why? You know what? Yeah, I'm done. So I'm going to block you now. I don't want to talk to you anymore. We're done. I don't care who you are. We are done. But do you know what? If you want to be angry at me, be angry at me. But don't drag mum into this because it's nothing to do with her.
But that's what they do with the triangulation bullshit.
Yeah, well, see, this is the thing. This is what we were talking about recently, is this particular person, she didn't really go and see mum very much. You know, mum would be lucky if she saw her once a month. Didn't really get very many text messages. There was no sort of like, hey, how you doing, mum? That sort of thing, you know. And it took a couple of months, but this person has been going round to see her a lot more, contacting her a lot more. She dropped a coat off for me. I didn't want it, but, you know, still, you know, fair enough. And I sort of messaged mum and went, have you noticed that this person seems to be changing their tune a little bit? And mum was like, well, maybe it's something to do with the dog, because they come over and see her dog quite a lot now, because she's got a puppy, same as me.
Yeah,
and I went,
didn't she try to bond with your dog as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another matter. But I turned around and said, well, no, it maybe the dog is the excuse, you know, like, can I come over and see the dog and play with the dog, that sort of thing. Maybe that's the excuse, but actually she's coming over to see you. Because all of this, you know, all of this happened after you got the dog. You know, it wasn't, you hang on, no, before you got the dog. No, wait. No. she was being distant when Mum had the dog.
Mm.
And it's only been the last month or so that she's been making more of an effort to go around. And I went, do you think perhaps that she has had time to get over her indignation of what I said? Yeah, I know I use that word. It's a choice word to use with this person.
I know, I kind of picked up on that. I'm not being indignant.
I'll have to explain that one in a bit. Accidental burn.
Side note, whenever Annika is pissed off with you, her vocabulary gets very extensive.
It expands. Yeah, what was it you said?
The cussing thesaurus.
You can tell how pissed off I am by how big of a dictionary you need to use to understand what I've said.
Pretty much.
It's so true. It's so true. I didn't realize it until you said it, but it's true. And what was it you said? It's like I'm saying, you're going to take the piss out of me, are you? I've got a bigger brain than you. I'm smarter than you.
I'm smarter than you.
I'm smarter than you. Yeah, no, I didn't realize that.
It's a great tactic because you can literally see the moment when you say a word and people say, what the fuck does that mean? And then that's all that they can think about. And then another one's just like, what the fuck does that mean? And then they start questioning their own intellect. And then they get more and more pissed off because they don't know what it means. And then they say more things that they don't know what it means. It pisses them off more. And it's just beautiful. It's just fucking beautiful, dude.
I didn't realise that's what I do, though, until you pointed it out. And then I went back over it and looked at letters that I've sent to the school when I got really pissed off, and things that I've said to other people when I've got really pissed off, and it was, holy shit, I do that. Oh my God. I really do.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Respect.
Yeah. So she's had time to get over her indignation.
And has eaten some humble pie.
And has eaten some humble pie and perhaps thought about the things that I've said and decided to perhaps do something about it. Now, I say it's too late for me. I do not give a shit anymore. You know, there will be no fucks given. But if a relationship between those two is going to happen properly, fine, great, carry on. You know, that's the job done then. Brilliant. I don't give a shit, but be nice to her.
Yeah.
Simples. As for the indignation thing, let me just explain that.
Yeah.
This was another particular incident with this person. She wanted to have my children over for a sleepover.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, fair enough. At the time, we were having another bout of head lice, right? Yeah, you know, it happens.
Yeah,
These things happen, right? But I was also going through a lot of other things, so my brain was really not there. So this person has... what I didn't realize was when the girls told me afterwards that every time they've gone for a sleepover around this person's house, she has instantly put them in the shower and scrubbed them down. Like, my kids are not that dirty, really.
Yeah.
But okay. Anyway, so she put them in the bath, she washed their hair, that sort of thing, and she sent me a text message to say, one of the girls has got head lice. And I went, crap. Sorry, yeah, I knew that the youngest one had a couple. We've been trying to sort it out. I didn't realise the eldest one did. My bad, sorry. And she's like, why am I always the last to know these things? Like, it wasn't intentional. I've had a lot of crap going on. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. It wasn't a slight. It wasn't intentional. My bad. And it just carried sort of escalated from there. I'm like, but hang on a sec, right? I didn't intentionally not tell you that they had head lice. You know, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff.
And as far as you were concerned, you were given the treatment and it was...
Yeah, exactly, you know, combing their hair every day, that sort of thing, just to make sure it was all done. But yeah, as far as I was aware, I was dealing with it, but I had just, because when she'd asked, it was sort of last minute, and then as I'm getting them out the door, it was chaos, you know, with various people being there and everything. I'm trying to get them out the door, make sure they've got everything. So my brain just was too distracted to say, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't...
Just slipped the mind kind of thing.
Exactly. These things happen, you know? It happens. I'm so sorry, you know? And I said, oh, look, you know, my bad, wasn't intentional. And she's still getting a little bit shitty about it. And I'm like, okay, right. Again, it wasn't an intentional thing not to tell you. I'm sorry, my bad. There's no need to get indignant about it. Right? I know what that means. So then I get this text message back, capital letters, what? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm like, all right. Oh, and in my brain I went, right, okay. She's getting indignant about me saying not to get indignant. Perhaps she doesn't know what the word means. You know? So
this doesn't stop being funny, by the way.
I sent her the definition of the word indignant. I didn't know what else to do. I just thought, you know, all right, okay.
Hang on, dude, cut the peeps some slack, give the definition.
Give the definition. Oh, right, okay. Basically, indignant is just sort of like, oh, you know, I can't think, man. You're an ass. I got trying to think of how to. You know what? I googled this shit and just sent it to her so I could say it clearly, because I wasn't really in the mood for being brainy. But indignant is basically getting shitty when there's no need to get shitty.
Like overly defensive kind of.
Like overly defensive, you know, getting assy about stuff you don't need to get assy about. You know, it's not an intentional slight. You know, that was the point. It wasn't you know, these sorts of things. Don't get indignant about things that aren't intentional, you know?
Just chill.
Just chill. You know, that's basically the definition in I can't be asked to look this shit up terminology. But I sent her the definition of the word indignant, because, and it wasn't me going, you're a stupid shit, so I'm just going to tell you what it means. It was just a genuine, why is she getting angry with me about telling her she doesn't have to get indignant?
Yeah, but it's
okay.
The definition does.
Dude, you know me, I'm not an asshole. I'm really not an asshole.
That's what makes it more funny.
I know. So, because you can see my process here, it's like, okay, she's getting angrier now. I've just told her she doesn't need to get angry because it wasn't intentional. Now she's getting even angrier because I used a big word. So maybe, just maybe, she doesn't know what the definition of indignant means. So maybe if I tell her what the definition of indignant means, she'll chill the fuck out.
Doesn't work like that, dude. Doesn't work like that.
No, I know that. And as soon as I got the message back after sending the definition of the word indignant, I suddenly realised what I'd done. I'm like, all right. Oh shit, I can't win. You know. So I sent her the definition, and I got I know what it means, and that was the end of that. And within so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give a heads up to my mum to let her know that this shit has gone down. So whilst I'm on the phone with my mum saying, look, you know, had this little thing, here's the screenshot, so that just in case this person has a whinge at you because I somehow managed to accidentally insult her, just to let you know this has happened, okay? And I said, I bet you within about 10 minutes she drops the kids back off. And as I'm on the phone to her, she dropped the kids off. She didn't bring them to the door. She didn't knock on the door. She kicked them out of the car and made them walk. You know, she just basically said, right, time to go home, shoved their stuff in their hands and brought them around here and just dumped them out of the car and sped off. And it's like, you fucking what? And my mum sat going, I cannot believe she actually did that. How nasty can you get? Because it had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, but they were made to feel shamed for it, and they didn't even...
I had to explain to them what had happened and that it wasn't their fault. Because they could see that this person was clearly upset and pissed off and this, that and the other. All right, she on the other foot, perhaps she would have thought that I'd have done the same thing, but I wouldn't, because it's nothing to do with her child. You know, it's between us. We could have sorted it out like adults, which is what I was trying to do.
But some people just can't be reasonable.
No, so...
Which brings us round to the massive question. The fuck is wrong with people?
What the fuck is wrong with people? What the fuck is wrong with people? I really don't know anymore.
I don't know either.
I really don't know anymore, dude. I really don't.
Oh,
I mean, because I'm having those things with an ex-mate of mine as well. You know, those those driving incidents where she followed me home.
Oh my god, the fuck is up with that? Why? Fucking Cruella de Vil fucking driving.
Oh god. Oh, I'm not even going to go into that one because it's fucking ridiculous and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
People are just
fucking what? And I am noticing a shift at the moment between the way I'm dealing with these random assholes and not so random assholes, but yeah, it's a case of do you know what? It ain't worth it.
It's kind of like yeah, those Pokemon games. Suddenly a random micro. And just hit escape and fucking run. It's cool.
Yeah, it just pops out the bushes. I'm an asshole!
You're like, no!
Not today, dickhead.
Not today.
Not today.
Oh, man. At this point, I'm gonna fucking stop recording because
Alright.
I think we've waffled on long enough for this video. Because
Cool.
I don't think we've actually made points. We've just fucking suck it.
We just rambled. We just rambled.
Made it this far, by the way.
Well done.
Hey!
Congratulations.
I just got one question for you, mate. What the fuck are you doing with your life?
But thanks.
Thanks. You're awesome.
You know, we were supposed to be having just a random chat, but we did actually get into serious stuff again. Did you notice that?
Yeah, but that's how our conversation.
Yeah, that's how we deal. That's how we deal with it.
This is kind of like, you know what? I think this is like just talk therapy. We just talk shit.
Yeah. Yep.
And
anyway.
Yeah. So thanks.
Yeah.
What do I usually? Oh yeah. Hang on. Thanks for watching. Much love. Much hugs, and see you in the... No, that's wrong. See you in the next video. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Louise.